Hi, I'm Sarah Chen. From a young age, technology fascinated me in ways most kids couldn't understand. While others played with toys, I was busy dismantling and rebuilding old computers. My parents weren't wealthy, but they always nurtured my curiosity, even as our living room transformed into a makeshift lab of circuit boards and tangled wires. Sarah, honey, what's your latest project? My mom would ask, carefully maneuvering around my cluttered workspace. Just tweaking the processing speed, I'd reply, focused intently on my task. She'd smile, shaking her head with a mix of amusement and exasperation. Just make sure it's all cleared away by dinner. Despite our financial struggles, I earned a scholarship to study computer science. By my final year, I had developed a groundbreaking AI algorithm that drew attention from top tech firms. One company even offered $50 million for it. I accepted the deal but kept my newfound wealth a secret. No extravagant lifestyle or flashy purchases, just strategic investments and relentless pursuit of innovation. I wanted to be known for my work, not my money. That's when I met David. We first crossed paths at a coffee shop where I was engrossed in my laptop. David accidentally spilled his coffee, narrowly avoiding my device. "Oh no, I'm so sorry," he blurted, frantically reaching for napkins. "It's fine, really," I said with a laugh, helping him clean up. "I'm Sarah." "David, let me buy you another coffee to make it up to you." One coffee turned into dinner, and dinner blossomed into a relationship. David was kind, funny, and endlessly supportive, even if he didn't fully grasp my work. A year later, we got married in a simple, heartfelt ceremony. Then I met his family, including his sister, Jessica. From the outset, Jessica made her disdain clear. As a senior executive at Turner Tech, one of the city's largest tech firms, she exuded an air of superiority. "So Sarah, what do you do?" she asked during our first family dinner, her tone dripping with condescension. "Freelance work and some cleaning jobs," I replied, choosing to keep my accomplishments under wraps. "Oh, how quaint," she said, exchanging smug glances with their mother, Linda. What they didn't know was that Turner Tech had long been on my radar. The company was riddled with inefficiencies, and I saw vast potential for improvement. So I took an unconventional route. I applied for a cleaning position. "A cleaner? Are you serious?" David asked, bewildered. "But you have a degree in computer science." "Trust me," I said with a knowing smile. "I have my reasons." When Jessica spotted me in my cleaning uniform, her shock was palpable. "What are you doing here?" she demanded, pulling me aside. "Working," I said simply. "Just stay out of my way," she hissed. "And don't tell anyone you're my sister-in-law. It's embarrassing enough having you in the family." For 6 months, I cleaned offices, quietly observing the company's inner workings. I noted wasteful spending, toxic management practices, and overlooked opportunities. Meanwhile, Jessica seized every opportunity to belittle me. At a family gathering, she announced her latest promotion with smug satisfaction. "I'm now vice president of operations," she declared. "Some of us actually have ambition." She cast a pointed look in my direction. David squeezed my hand under the table but remained silent. His lack of support stung more than Jessica's insults. The annual family dinner, hosted at Jessica's lavish new home, was the breaking point. "So Sarah," she began loudly, "how's the cleaning going?" "Must be riveting, emptying trash cans all day." Before I could respond, she continued, "We had a board meeting today about the company's future. Of course, you wouldn't understand such things. You were probably too busy scrubbing toilets." Laughter rippled through the room, except from David's grandmother, who looked deeply uncomfortable. Actually, a calm voice interrupted from the doorway. "She understands more than you think." All heads turned to see Mr. Thompson, Turner Tech's CEO, standing there. Jessica's face drained of color. "Mr. Thompson, what are you doing here?" she stammered. He smiled and glanced at me. "I came to welcome our new owner." The room fell into stunned silence. Jessica's fork clattered onto her plate. "Owner?" Linda echoed weakly. "Yes," I said, standing. "I acquired controlling shares in Turner Tech last week. For the past 6 months, I've been learning the company from the ground up." Jessica's face flushed with fury. "This is absurd. I've worked at Turner Tech for 8 years. I'm a vice president." "And also a thief," Mr. Thompson said firmly. "You've been embezzling company funds for 3 years. We have proof." Gasps echoed around the table as Jessica stammered denials. I opened a folder I'd brought. The cleaning staff notices everything, Jessica, including your falsified expense reports. Every penny you stole has been documented. Linda turned to me, pleading. Sarah, surely you won't press charges against family. I met her gaze evenly. Family? For years, you and Jessica have treated me like I was beneath you, mocked me, excluded me, and made David ashamed of his own wife. I wasn't ashamed, David protested weakly. Then why did you never defend me? I asked, my voice calm but firm. Why did you let Jessica dictate my worth in your eyes? David looked down, unable to respond. Mr. Thompson cleared his throat, breaking the heavy silence. Mrs. Chen, shall we discuss the next steps? Yes, I said, turning to Jessica. You have two choices. Option 1. Resign immediately, repay every cent you stole, and sign a non-disclosure agreement. Option 2. I press charges, and you face the legal consequences. Jessica's eyes darted around the room, searching for an ally. Finding none, she slumped back in her chair. How much time do I have to decide? She whispered. Until tomorrow morning, I replied firmly. And Jessica? Clean out your office tonight. Either way, your time at Turner Tech is over. Linda rose from her seat, her face flushed with anger. This is outrageous. David, are you going to let her ruin your sister's career? David hesitated, his face troubled. Mom, if Jessica really stole money. Of course you take her side. Linda snapped. She's been manipulating you from the start. Actually, Mr. Thompson interjected calmly. Mrs. Chen has been more than fair. The evidence against Jessica would typically result in immediate arrest. Offering her a chance to repay the money is an extraordinary act of generosity. I gathered my things and stood. Mr. Thompson, shall we? I believe this family dinner has come to an end. As we made our way to the door, Jessica's voice rang out. Wait, what about my house, my car? They're all financed through my Turner Tech benefits. I turned back, meeting her panicked gaze. The company will repossess them, of course. You might want to start packing. The following days were a whirlwind. Jessica chose option 1, resigning and agreeing to repay nearly $300,000 in embezzled funds. Her glamorous lifestyle evaporated overnight, forcing her to move back in with Linda and Richard. Meanwhile, David repeatedly tried to reach me. I had moved into a hotel, needing space to think. Sarah, please, he begged over the phone. Can we talk about this? About what, David? The way you let your family treat me like I didn't belong. Or how you stood by while they tore me down for 3 years. I didn't know about your success, about Jessica's stealing. I didn't know any of it. That's not the point, I said quietly. You knew how they treated me, and you did nothing. My worth as your wife shouldn't have depended on my bank account. I threw myself into reforming Turner Tech. The company needed a complete overhaul, and I was determined to see it through. Each day brought me challenges, but the work was rewarding. Then, one morning, my assistant buzzed in. Mrs. Chen, your mother-in-law is here. Security called up. She's demanding to see you. I sighed, already weary of the confrontation. Send her up. Linda stormed into my office, her face a mask of fury. How dare you do this to our family? Jessica is devastated. I met her gaze calmly. Jessica devastated herself when she decided to steal from the company. I merely exposed the truth. She made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. 3 years of systematic theft isn't a mistake, Linda. It's a calculated crime. Her shoulders sagged slightly as she collapsed into a chair. She can't find another job. No one will hire her with this scandal. She created the scandal, I said evenly. Actions have consequences. Linda's tone softened, turning pleading. Please, we're family. Surely we can find a way to fix this. I leaned back in my chair, studying her. Family? Let's recap, Linda. Last Christmas, you told everyone I wasn't invited to the family gathering because the help shouldn't mingle with guests. At David's birthday party, you seated me in the kitchen with the catering staff. When I got sick last year, you told David he should have married someone more suitable. Linda's face flushed with embarrassment. We didn't know who you really were then. And that's the problem, I said firmly. You judge me based on status, not character. Now that you know I'm wealthy, suddenly I'm family? Let me be clear. I'm the same person I've always been, and I won't protect you from the consequences of your choices. Linda stood, straightening her expensive jacket. So that's it? You're willing to destroy our family over a few harsh words? No, Linda, I replied. Your family destroyed itself through its actions. I'm just refusing to shield you from reality anymore. After she left, I stared out my office window as the sun set, painting the city in warm hues. My phone buzzed. Another message from David. Please come home. We can work this out. I love you. I typed back, sometimes love isn't enough. Respect matters too. The weeks that followed were a blur of change. Turner Tech transformed under my leadership, with new policies, fresh talent, and streamlined operations. Yet my personal life remained in disarray. David's attempts to reach me grew more desperate. One evening, my assistant buzzed in again. Your husband is here. He says he won't leave until you see him. I sighed, sent him in. David walked in, looking uncharacteristically disheveled. His tie hung loose, and his usually neat hair was unkempt. Sarah, he said, his voice raw. We need to talk, really talk. About what, David? About us. About everything. He sank into a chair, his shoulders slumped. I've been thinking a lot. I failed you. I was a coward. I stayed silent, waiting. When Jessica and Mom treated you badly, I told myself it wasn't serious, that family dynamics are complicated. But I was wrong. I avoided confrontation because it was easier, and I let you down. Yes, you did, I said quietly. But Sarah, why didn't you tell me about your success? About your wealth? We're supposed to be partners. I walked to the window, looking out over the city lights. Do you remember last Christmas at your parents' house? Jessica joked about me being the cleaning lady who trapped her brother. Everyone laughed. You laughed too, David. He flinched. I didn't mean. That night, I almost told you everything. But I stopped. I realized that if you couldn't respect me as a cleaner, you didn't deserve to know me as a CEO. That's not fair, David protested. Isn't it? I asked, turning to face him. Your family's treatment of me showed me exactly who they were. And your silence? That showed me exactly who you were. Before he could respond, my phone buzzed. It was Mr. Thompson. Sarah, we have a situation. Jessica's trying to access the company's servers remotely. She's attempting to delete files. My stomach dropped. Stop her, immediately. It's already handled, he replied, his tone grim. But there's more. She's been emailing confidential information to our competitors. I locked eyes with David, who had heard every word. Do you know about this? His shock seemed genuine. No, I swear, Sarah, I had no idea. Picking up the desk phone, I called security. Escort Mr. Chen out, then notify the police. We have evidence of corporate espionage. David grabbed my hand. Wait, Sarah, let me talk to her. Maybe I can reason with her. The time for talking is over, David. Your sister is trying to destroy my company. Within hours, the police arrested Jessica at her parents' house. They uncovered laptops filled with stolen data and emails offering Turner Tech's secrets to competitors. Linda called me later, furious. You've gone too far. First, you humiliate her, then take her job, and now this? She's your sister-in-law. She committed a crime, Linda. Multiple crimes. The evidence shows she's been planning this for weeks. She was desperate. You pushed her to this. No, Linda, I said firmly. She chose this. Just like she chose to steal from the company. Just like you chose to treat me like dirt for years. The next day, headlines blazed. Former VP arrested for corporate espionage. Jessica's polished corporate headshot was juxtaposed with her mugshot, and the fall from grace was splashed across every major news outlet. David came to my office, his face lined with anguish. Sarah, please, he said, she's my sister. There must be something you can do. I studied him, my voice calm but unwavering. You know what hurts the most, David? Even now, after everything she's done, you're still defending her. I'm not choosing sides. Yes, you are, I said, holding his gaze. Your sister stole hundreds of thousands of dollars, sold company secrets, and tried to ruin everything I've built. Yet you're here, begging me to protect her. Again. His shoulders slumped. What do you want me to do? I want you to finally make a choice, David. Not the easy one. The right one. Are you asking me to choose between you and my family? No, I said quietly. I'm asking you to decide what kind of man you want to be. The investigation unearthed even more than we anticipated. Jessica's theft and betrayal stretched back months, costing Turner Tech millions. It prompted sweeping reforms, tighter security, stricter audits, and a culture overhaul. One evening, my assistant brought me a letter from David. "Mrs. Chen," she said, hesitating. "He said it's important." Opening it, I read the familiar handwriting. "Dear Sarah, you were right. I've spent my life avoiding conflict and taking the easy path. But in doing so, I failed the one person I vow to love and protect. Today, I testified against Jessica. It wasn't easy, but the prosecutor says my statement will ensure she faces the consequences of her actions. My parents are furious. Mom won't speak to me, and Dad says I've betrayed the family. But for the first time, I know I'm doing what's right. I don't expect this to fix things between us. I lost you long before Jessica's crimes came to light. Every time I stayed silent, every time I chose comfort over courage. I've moved out of my parents' house and started seeing a therapist. I need to understand why I let fear dictate my choices for so long. I love you, Sarah. But I understand now, love without respect and action isn't enough. Whatever you decide about us, I want you to know that I'm finally becoming the man I should have been. David." Tears blurred the ink as I reread his words. The next morning, Jessica pleaded guilty in court. She was sentenced to 5 years in prison and ordered to repay $2.3 million. Months passed. Turner Tech thrived under its new leadership, and I finally felt the satisfaction of a company built on integrity. Meanwhile, David started volunteering at a tech center for underprivileged kids, a cause we had once dreamed about together. One evening, as I was leaving the office, I saw him waiting by my car. "I'm not here to ask for another chance," he said quickly. "I just wanted to thank you." "For what?" "For showing me what integrity looks like, for making me confront the truth about myself." For a moment, we stood in silence. Then I spoke. "Would you like to get coffee sometime?" "Just to talk." A small smile crossed his face. "I'd like that." 2 years later, Jessica remains in prison. Linda and Richard have relocated, and Turner Tech is a leader in both innovation and ethics. David and I have built something new, an honest friendship founded on mutual respect. Looking back, I realize the hardest battles aren't for money or power, but for dignity and self-worth. I won that battle by refusing to compromise my values. The sun sets over the city, casting golden light on the Turner Tech building. Tomorrow brings new challenges, but for now, I'm at peace. True wealth lies in integrity, courage, and the strength to stand tall, even when the world tries to pull you down. And that, I've learned, is priceless.